and I sing in Russian chamber progressive rock duo Iamthemorning, recently signed to Kscope, and I'm here to talk track by track about our album Belighted. The first track on the album is Intermission 9, so this might be a bit weird that we actually started the album with intermission number 9, but on the other hand this is perfectly logical because we had the previous 8 intermissions on our previous 2 releases. So this album is in a way a sequel of what we've done before. The title is borrowed from Ray Bradbury, he's one of my favorite writers. This is kind of a really heavy track, and I find it peculiar that that's the only track, the only full song on the album without strings, although strings is actually really our thing, so we use them as much as we can, because we love it. I love the drum part of it. I actually love the drums that Gavin did for the album, because he's one of my favorite drummers ever, and we are delighted to have him on the album. And this track is kind of an answer to the people who say that we just might be far too sugared. Well, we might be far too sugared, but we can rock too. This is a toast actually, so when we drink to human misery. And this particular one is about people who are okay with being depressed all the time. You know, when you kind of have constant drama and you just can't do anything about just making your life better. This is only you who can actually make your life better. Lies and romance is not really typical for us, because this style of songwriting is not really Iamthemorning-ish. I find it, you know, a bit too harsh for us. I'm not particularly sure why that happened. Probably I've been just bored and looking for some entertainment and trying to do different things. Never mind the blood on your heart. This one is a sad one, personally, for me, because it is kind of a story about keep making the same mistakes all over and over and over again, you know, when you feel like your life is making like circles and you're going in circles and can't find a way from this like situation that you got yourself into. We also made a music video for that. It's a very do-it-yourself type of video, but it actually has our artist starring, and throughout the video he's making up a huge oil painting that's a very beautiful one. So Intermission 11 is what was quite, you know, spontaneous when we came to St Petersburg studios in London. We were just playing the piano and he immediately came up with this piece, and that was beautiful. I really enjoyed it. It also has, you know, these sounds of him playing on the strings of the grand piano. It has this very nice atmosphere, I love it. 5/4, it just appeared from nowhere. We kind of sat together for an hour, and at the end we had like the full song. Voices surround me, this is not a fantasy. About the piano on that track, this is kind of Gleb at his finest. It's a really outstanding piece because I love Gleb's musicianship. I love how he plays piano. It's so complicated and it's so beautiful. This is about a guy, William Milligan, his name is. So he had a core personality, Billy, and he had like 24 hours personality. So he had many minds in his like mind or head. So basically, all those multiple personalities of his, they kept him sleeping for like 15 years. So imagine this: you fall asleep and then you wake up and you realize that you woke up like 15 years after you fell asleep, and during all these 15 years you've been doing stuff, and I'm not pretty sure, but I think that he woke up in prison or something, because some of his personalities were like really evil, and they did a lot of horrible things, and they judged him for this, for what he couldn't ever control. But this is such a captivating story. I thought it didn't let me go until I wrote the song. This is another song based on a book. This is another example of what happens when I'm left alone with, I don't know, a guitar or a piano at night and I'm bored or insomniac or something, because originally this song was just composed, I just made a tiny draft of the song, playing the guitar and recording it all, and then I sent it to Gleb and to Vlad, the guitar player, and they made a gorgeous arrangement. The narrator of the song is actually a dead girl who was killed and buried. Yeah, so I actually enjoy singing it because it gives me that feeling, you know, of becoming someone else for a couple of minutes, and I find it really mesmerizing to imagine myself a dead girl. That must be a bit strange, I guess. This is an almost classical piece starting with like a 40 seconds cello solo, and I love it. It's a bit gloomy. I mean, it may be a bit sad because the melodies kind of provokes some feelings in you. But then the piano comes in and bells, and it all turns into something very beautiful. Another piece that Gleb composed on his own. This song is as close to progressive rock as we can actually get, or not can actually get, but as we got so far. I think that so far this is the most personal song on the album for me. I love performing it because it's a bit tricky, because vocal part can get a bit difficult at times. But it's a nice one because, well, we composed it intending to make it heavier than the rest of the stuff that we have. Also made just on the fly. We just sat down, spent some time, and we had it like half an hour later. And then Gleb composed amazing string arrangement for it. And this is really sweet because I love the arrangement of that song, although it might be a bit slow in development. I mean that you have to wait until it develops. But this is such a natural thing because you can't rush this. You need to let the music take you away. It was like 4 in the morning and we've been sitting in a studio, and Marcel, the sound engineer, he applied some effects to strings that play pizzicato in the very end of Reprise of Light No Light. So we had this long piece of just, you know, delayed pizzicatos, and I thought that, well, that would be nice to have another intermission. That would be the end of the album. So the guys went for a smoke and I sat down, and in 5 minutes I had a draft. Although it's not a lot. It's kind of like 30 or 40 seconds long, so it wasn't that tricky. But I loved it because, you know, this is a bit of, you know, somnambulistic track, because I've been almost falling asleep and I woke up when I heard this string pizzicatos being delayed, because I always wake up if I hear something really awesome.